Alright, good morning good morning pula. Good afternoon everyone. So sorry for the delay. I have something last minute. So sorry. So we will continue with our tutorial lah. Okay, so this supposed to be the last tutorial because this is the last chapter that with tutorial. We still have 2 more chapter for me to cover. Tapi chapter 7 and 8 you don't have any tutorial. So this will be the last tutorial lah, which is tutorial chapter 6. Okay, so the questions have already posted on VLE. So as usual, please get the questions after this if you still haven't downloaded. Okay, so today we will cover a few questions, about 2 or 3 questions. Sebab tu saya rasa macam 1 hour is still enough for us to cover the tutorial. Right, so let us go to the very first question. So before I go to the questions, just to recap, chapter 6 kita belajar about non-isothermal reactor, meaning there are changes in the temperature of the reactor due to the reaction itself. Okay, so non-isothermal means changes of temperature during the reaction, and this will affect the reactor design. Okay, so the question says, given the irreversible non-isothermal liquid phase reaction as follows. So A reacting with B to produce a 2C. Okay, so dalam chapter 6 ni, when you attempt the question, be very careful about the chemical equation, especially the stoichiometric coefficient, because it will affect the calculation as we will see later. Okay, they say the reaction is carried out non-adiabatically in a flow reactor. Okay, so by this point, kamu dah kena faham konsep non-adiabatic dengan adiabatic. Okay, so apa itu non-adiabatic dengan adiabatic? Alright, kalau dia kata adiabatic, meaning no heat is supplied or released from the reactor. Ataupun arti kata lain, the Q is 0 if it's adiabatic. Okay, so kalau adiabatic, Q tu kosong. In our energy balance equation, kan chapter 6 we learn about the energy balance equation, we have the Q. So if it's adiabatic, the Q is 0. If they say here non-adiabatic, means we have to calculate Q in the energy balance equation. So kamu kena be very careful dalam soalan. Tengok adiabatic ke non-adiabatic. Kalau adiabatic, Q kosong, you don't have to calculate. Kalau non-adiabatic means their value of Q means they are heat supplied to the reactor, or it can also be heat released from the reactor. Okay, so kita calculate Q. Okay, so this is equal molar of A and B enters the reactor at 343.15 Kelvin at the flow rate of 60 dm cube per second with initial concentration of A 18.5. Okay, so we see this one sentence ada banyak information kan, so we have to digest one by one lah. So first dikata equal molar A and B. Okay, so equal molar ni maksudnya yang masuk asal tu adalah equal concentration of A and B. Okay, although at this moment we don't know yet what is the equal concentration, what's the concentration, but from the word equal molar, it means dia masuk pada concentration yang sama, or in terms of mole fraction or mole percentage, this means 50% A and 50% B. Okay, so equal molar ni actually to give you information yang initially the mole percentage is 50% A, 50% B, or in the form of fraction, YA0 0.5, YB0 pun 0.5. Okay, so that's the important information lah. YA0 equals to YB0 equals to 0.5. Okay, so that's one. Second, this is enter reactor at 343.15 Kelvin, meaning the feed temperature, okay, the temperature of which you feed your A and B is at 343.15 Kelvin, or your T0 is 343.15. Okay, so sebelum ni, bila kita belajar from chapter 1 to chapter 5, there are no changes in the temperature during the reaction. Sebab tu T0 equals to T. Okay, but dalam case chapter 6 ni dah lain. Sebab dia dah non-isothermal, meaning feed temperature dengan reaction temperature tu dah tak sama. So they give us feed temperature tu T0 343.15. Then flow rate 60 dm cube per second. So by now I trust you already know, right? Dm cube volume, second is time, volume per time, volumetric flow rate. Okay, so this volumetric flow rate is 60 dm cube per second. Okay, so again kamu kena faham konsep. Walaupun dia tak kata this volumetric flow rate ni inlet atau outlet kan, they didn't tell us this is initial or inlet or outlet volumetric flow rate. However, you note that this is liquid phase reaction, tindak balas di mana your reactants are actually liquid. So kalau case liquid phase, dia tak kisah inlet outlet volumetric flow rate tu adalah sama. Sebab tu kalau dia tak tulis pun is fine as long as it's liquid phase, kita boleh cakap or we can assume initial equals to outlet volumetric flow rate equals to 60 dm cube per second. Okay, so next one dia kata initial concentration 18.5 of A. So Ca0 is 18.5. Okay, so then next dia kata calculate the reaction temperature. Dia nak kita kira so tindak balas when the conversion is 65%. Okay, so dia kata sekarang dikatakan the targeted conversion is 65%. Our X are 0.65. They ask what is the temperature of our reaction. Okay, then dia kata assume work done by stirrer is negligible. So as I told you dalam equation energy balance tu ada part yang work shaft. Work shaft ni refers to the work done by the stirrer. But as I told you, most of the time the work done is relatively small in comparison to the other variable. Sebab tu most of the time work done by stirrer yang WS tu we consider as zero or we say it negligible. Okay, so then they give us information. Kejap saya make it besar. Okay, they give us steam jacket area. Okay, so kamu jangan confuse. Kenapa tiba-tiba ada jacket? Kenapa ada steam? Okay, sebab as I told you, ni kan non-isothermal. Okay, dalam case ni, they are providing heat to the reaction. So when they are providing heat to the reaction, so the jacket that provides the heating tu kita panggil dia heating jacket lah. So kalau katakan kamu nak gunakan to cool down the reactor, tu adalah cooling jacket. Dalam kes ni adalah heating jacket. And then kita kena ada heat transfer fluid ataupun elemen yang memanaskan reaktor kita. So in this case dia guna steam. The steam in the jacket is the one that heat up our reactor. Tak apa, nanti later week 14 is coming. So when you go to the lab, if you can turn up for the lab, nanti you can see it clearly. Mana satu heating jacket, mana satu actually the reactor itself. Okay, so whenever you see the word jacket tu jangan terperanjat. It means actually we are talking about the element that is going to heat up our reactor, or simpler word, that information is needed to calculate Q. Sebab Q tu kan haba yang dibekalkan ke dalam reaktor. So Q tu mesti berdasarkan heating element punya maklumat. So they give us steam jacket area. They give us overall heat transfer coefficient. So this overall heat transfer coefficient is referring to the steam lah. Okay, yang this case is steam. Jacket steam saturation temperature. The temperature of your steam inside the heating jacket. Okay, next, heat of reaction. Okay, so heat of reaction ni pula, as I've told you before, every reaction ni, setiap tindak balas ni will have what we call as heat of reaction. So heat of reaction ni pun depends. It can be negative, it can be positive, depending on whether it's endothermic or exothermic reaction. So kalau kamu tengok nilai heat of reaction tu negatif, don't be surprised. Means in this reaction, dia negatif tu means dia exothermic lah. Kalau dikatakan is endothermic, the heat of reaction is positive. So in this case, they give us straight away the heat of reaction as negative 70,000, and heat of reaction ni pun macam saya ajar kamu, dia very specific to the temperature of which you calculate this heat of reaction. So dalam case ni, this heat of reaction will obtain at reference temperature 273 Kelvin, which is about 25 Celsius lah, our room temperature actually. Okay. And then they give us heat capacity. So heat capacity A, heat capacity B, heat capacity C. Okay. So how do we solve this question? So as always tell you, kadang-kadang kalau kamu tengok reaction or any other engineering subject, always I think the challenge is kita tak tahu nak mula kat mana, which is very normal. Okay. So Macam saya kata kamu kena sentiasa tahu what equation that is related. So that will be your starting point lah, how you want to calculate. So especially when macam soalan reaction ni banyak maklumat kan, so it become very confusing when you don't know maklumat ni untuk apa. So always focus apa yang dia nak cari. Okay, dia kata dia nak cari reaction temperature. Okay, dia beri kita conversion. Okay, so kalau sejadi kamu kena ingat balik. Okay, soalan ni most likely daripada chapter mana. So you can see, of course lah, I'm doing chapter 6. Okay, and then you can see, oh, non-isothermal. So kami ingat kalau kamu belajar daripada chapter 1 sampai chapter 6 sekarang, non-isothermal is only in chapter 6. Chapter 6 saja kita belajar non-isothermal. So kamu cuba tengok equation dalam chapter 6, equation mana yang berkaitan. And if you realize, in chapter 6, there's only one equation, which is our energy balance equation as given in this red form. Okay, so katakanlah, kamu agak-agak, this should be the equation. Okay, so lepas tu kamu dah tulis equation, kamu ingat balik apa yang dia nak. Dia nak reaction temperature, dia nak T. Okay, then dia beri kita X. Okay, so maksudnya bila kamu ada satu equation and kamu dah kenal pasti yang kamu nak cari itu adalah T. Okay, so means what? Means ada unknown dalam equation tu, kamu dah kena cari nilai dia dulu. Tak boleh ada unknown lain yang tak diketahui. Kalau ada, then you can never solve. I was told you, kalau satu equation, satu sahaja unknown yang kamu tak tahu yang kita nak cari. Means the rest tu kamu kena tahu, kena cari. Selagi tak cari, you can never solve the problem. Okay, so we know our target, kita nak cari T. Okay, so the rest tu kita kena selesaikan one by one. Okay, so we start first with Q. So ingat Q ni, kalau ada batik, Q tak payah kira. Q is 0. Dalam case ni, non ada batik. Okay, non ada batik, kita kena kira Q. Okay, so kalau kamu lupa, okay, check balik notes. Q tu nak kira dia ada separate equation to calculate Q. Kenapa? Because calculation of Q ni depends on the types of reactor. Bukan sahaja types of reactor, depending on the dimensions and the design of the reactor lah, how you going to put up the heating elements. Okay, sebab tu penyiraan Q equation yang diberi ni adalah spesifik untuk CSTR. Sebab tu kalau kamu perasan, chapter 6 saya kata, saya hanya ajar kamu design CST, non-isothermal CSTR. I did not teach you non-isothermal PFR. I did not teach you non-isothermal batch. Sebab kalau tak, penyiraan dia dah berlainan. Cara mengira Q tu berlainan and become very complex if I teach other types of reactor. Sebab tu I focus, or not I focus, the syllabus focus only on CSTR, but at least you have the idea penyiraan dia tu macam mana. So ingat, kalau kemudian when you go to real world, you have to calculate, let's say for PFR, after batch, kamu kena tahu yang penyiraan Q tu berlainan mengikut jenis reactor yang berbeza. Okay, so the Q equals to, equation dia given as UA T in bracket TA minus T. Okay, so TA is the temperature of your heat transfer fluid, which in this case is our steam. So TA tu adalah 350 Kelvin lah. Okay, U tu adalah our heat transfer coefficient of our steam. A is the steam jacket area. T tu is the temperature, the reaction temperature. Okay, so maksudnya kita tahu U23. A is 18, TA 350, the jacket steam saturation temperature tu TA kita. T kita tak tahu, T kita nak cari, reaction temperature. So T tu kita kena biarkan. Okay, so kalau kamu wonder, if you wonder, kenapa UA in bracket TA minus T? Kenapa heat transfer fluid punya temperature minus reaction temperature? Sebab kamu tahu kan, pemidan haba ni tak mungkin 100% efficient. So let's say you are providing, let's say you want your temperature in the reactor tu adalah, let's say 100 Celsius. Tak mungkin heat transfer fluid kamu pun 100 Celsius. Definitely slightly more or above, sebab akan berlaku loss of heat or loss of energy. So the heat transfer fluid temperature will always be higher than your reaction temperature that you targeted or you want to know. Okay, right. So kalau saya jadi kamu, saya selesaikan certain part dahulu, tapi saya takkan buka kurungan. I understand that sometimes penyiraan we tend to open the bracket, but if I were you, don't open the bracket first, biarkan dahulu. Okay, biarkan dulu bagian Q tu as this form first. Okay, so then next WS. So work done by stirrer dalam case ni negligible because in the question they say it's negligible. So WS tu 0. But even if let's say dia kata tak negligible, in question, let's say kalau saya keluarkan soalan pun, I will just give you the I will give you the value straight away lah. Tak ada pengiraan, tak ada sebarang equation untuk mengira WS. Okay, so next FA0. So FA0 dia tak bagi straightforward kan, dalam soalan dia tak beri kita molar flow rate A. However, you know right, I can still find molar flow rate of A, initial molar flow rate of A, if I know Ca0, initial concentration of A, which I'm given 18.5. I'm also given inlet volumetric flow rate, which is 60. So kalau tak tahu FA0, but kita tahu Ca0, kita tahu V0, we can still calculate FA0. So you will get 1110 mole per second. So done. Okay, so kita kena pergi part by part, right? So next one, summation theta I CPI. I kecil tu referring to the species. Kejap saya buat besar sikit, macam kecil sangat lah. Okay, so this I, summation theta I CPI, the I is not referring to inert, it's referring to the species. Okay, I itu merupakan species yang ada dalam your reaction. However, you can remember, to calculate theta I CPI is only for reactant only, for the species of reactant, and if you have inert. You don't need to include product in the calculation of theta I CPI. But let's say you are confused, nak kena masuk ke tak pernah masuk, kamu just ingat, saya selalu ajar kamu pasal theta kan, we use a lot of theta in calculation kan, biasanya kita cari theta B, kita cari theta inert. Okay, either theta B ke theta inert pun konsep dia adalah initial amount. Kalau theta B, initial amount of B over A. Kalau theta inert, initial amount of inert over initial amount of A. So maksudnya dia sentiasa akan melibatkan initial amount. So kalau produk, kamu dah tahu konsep logik, initially takkan ada produk kan, hanya ada reactant dan kalau ada inert. So you straight away know calculation theta I CPI ni only refers to reactant and if you have inert. Okay, so in our case here we have two reactant A and B. So kamu kena berhati-hati, kalau katakan dalam case tu B adalah produk, kita tak boleh kira untuk B lah dalam case ni sebab B is also a reactant. We have two reactant. So it become the calculation CPA or technically, saya selalu cakap technically supaya kamu boleh faham kenapa macam tak consistent equation ni. Technically dia adalah theta A CPA. Just that theta A itu akan menjadi apa? Initial amount of A over initial amount of A, which is 1. That's why theta A dia takkan tulis. But it's always going to be 1. So CPA, so heat capacity of A, plus theta B, CPB. So theta B itu mesti ada lah. So what's the concept of theta B? So theta B, initial amount of B over initial amount of A. So initial amount ni bergantung kepada soalan. It can be in terms of mole fraction, in terms of concentration, in terms of molar flow rate kalau dia beri. Tapi konsep dia masih sama, nisbah asal bahan B terhadap nisbah asal bahan A. In this question, they give us study information equal molar. So equal molar means mole fraction dia, mole percent dia 50% A, 50% B. Or we can say in fraction, YB0 equals to YA0 equals to 0.5. Or in terms of theta B, pengiraan dia akan menjadi YB0 per YA0, which is 0.5 over 0.5 equals to 1. So kalau dalam soalan test atau exam, katakanlah kamu tak tahu nak solve tapi kamu tahu macam nak kira theta B, kamu tahu macam nak kira benda-benda sikit-sikit ni, please write down. Although you don't know how to solve the entire question is fine, but let's say you know how to calculate theta B, you know how to calculate FA0. Tulis je, you will have marks for that. Okay, right. So done on theta B. So we know that we can replace theta B as 1 and then we write heat capacity of B. Mana dapat? Daripada table lah. So daripada table we see, right? Cp for A is 23. Heat capacity at constant pressure, CPA is 23, CPB is 28. So that's why we put it as 23 plus 28. So theta B to be very careful. Sometimes we might make some mistakes when we want to calculate the value. Okay, so done on summation theta I CPI, done. Okay, then Next, dalam bracket T minus T0. So, T kita nak cari. So, T tu kita biarkan. T0 is the inlet temperature, which is feed temperature, which is 343.15 Kelvin. So, done. Okay, so belakang pula minus FA0, kita dah calculate tadi. FA0 we already know. K given as 0.65, 65%. So, X kita dah tahu. Alright, so next is dalam bracket heat of reaction at reference temperature. So heat of reaction dalam soalan ni, you are very lucky we are given straight away. So kita ganti teruslah, negative 70,000. Dan last part, delta CP. So delta CP ni kamu jangan lupa. Okay, delta, matematik delta tu means changes. Okay, so I always associate, kalau saya nak ingat sedang, I always associate kalau changes tu mesti perubahan. Perubahan tu mesti ada positif, mesti ada negatif. Okay, so then positive tu always refers to product, negative always refers to reactant. Whenever you got calculation, you are confused, plus atau minus, bila ada product dengan reactant, you just remember product mesti positif, reactant mesti negatif. Okay, so meaning delta CP is written as, jangan lupa stoichiometric coefficient punya ratio tu kena ada. So C per A, heat capacity of C. Okay, dalam kes kita ni produk dia C, reactant dia A and B. Okay, so C per A, heat capacity of C, minus B per A, heat capacity of B, minus technically again A per A, heat capacity of A, just like A per A itu 1. Okay, then don't forget, kenapa negatif untuk B? Sebab B is a reactant in this B is a reactant in this example. So untuk case B ni yang kamu kena betul-betul tengok. Kalau B tu adalah produk, dia jadi positif. Kalau B adalah reactant, it become negative. So that part yang you have to be a little bit careful lah, right? Okay, then you calculate accordingly. Please check your stoichiometric coefficient. Contohnya dalam kes ni, C per A kita adalah 2/1 because in the equation, A react 1A, 1B and produce 2C. So C per A kita sebenarnya adalah 2. Okay, the rest tengoklah heat capacity A, heat capacity B, heat capacity C. Okay. Now that you have known every unknown, setiap unknown ni kamu dah solve kecuali temperature, then only you substitute into the main equation. So kamu kena solve equation ni. So nanti bila kamu ada masa, please practice on your own sebab equation ni pun dia ada banyak bracket, sub bracket. And so you have to be very very careful. Lagi-lagi dia ada negatif, dia ada positif. So sometimes if you are not too careful, you might make mistakes and students tend to make mistakes lah bila dikira part ni. So rugilah, kamu dah tahu semua benda tapi kamu terkira salah, you dapat nilai yang salah, it's a bit rugilah sebenarnya in my case. Okay, so ultimately you get the temperature as 999.18 Kelvin. Okay, so done for question number 1. So question number 1 is straightforward. Dia just guna energy balance equation. Kita tak libatkan lagi sebarang design of reactor, just the change of temperature. Okay, so done for question number 1. Okay, let me go to question number 2. Right, so question number 2, the endothermic liquid phase reaction. Okay, so this endothermic liquid phase reaction, A plus 2B. Okay, so be careful now, it's reacting between 1A, reacting with 2 of B to produce 1C. Okay, is carried out in a single steam jacketed CSTR with an inlet temperature of 300 Kelvin. Okay, so dia kata inlet temperature, tindak balas kita ni inlet temperature dia 300 Kelvin. Inlet of feed means the same lah kan, suhu sebelum tindak balas berlaku, which rises to 600 Kelvin during the reaction. Apa maksud ayatnya? Ayat ni kata suhu asal 300 Kelvin tetapi ia meningkat, it rises to 600 Kelvin during reaction, means T not 300, T is 600. Suhu meningkat daripada 300 kepada 600 semasa tindak balas berlaku. So sometimes I also sometimes do this because saya pun actually rasa I'm from sekolah menengah kebangsaan dan I go to sekolah menengah kebangsaan. Sometimes when you see questions, kalau katakan kamu macam tak faham ayat tu, I also do this. Sometimes I translate into bahasa Melayu. Kadang bila kita translate bahasa Melayu, pemahaman tu lebih baik. Or any language that you find comfortable, you try to translate and see faham tak ayat tu. So most of the time I also do that. that. Sebab saya pun dulu sekolah Melayu, I'm also from sekolah menengah kebangsaan, I tend to do that, I translate to BM, then I have a better understanding. So sama je, ayat ni kata bermula suhu 300 Kelvin tetapi meningkat kepada 600 Kelvin semasa tindak balas. So T not 300, T is 600. Okay, so done on that part. For conditions similar to those under which this CSTR operates, the reaction is first order with respect to A and first order with respect to B. Okay, so kamu dah tahu by now, right? Kalau dia beri kita order, sebenarnya dia beri kita rate law ataupun rate of reaction. Okay, maksudnya dalam kes ni, minus RA dia, okay, when we talk about rate law or rate of reaction, mesti pasal minus RA. Okay, so minus RA equals to K CA power of 1, CB power of 1. Or you can also write it as minus RA equals to KCA CB. So, kenapa I say that? Because dia kata first order with respect to A, first order with respect to B. So, automatically kalau kamu diberi order reaction and kamu tengok tak sama dengan stoichiometric coefficient, means this is non-elementary rate law lah. Sebab saya tunjukkan kalau non-elementary rate law, information tu harus diberikan kepada kamu. So walaupun soalan tak cakap this is non-elementary, tapi dia dah beri rate law and rate law diberi tu tak sama dengan stoichiometric, kamu terus buat kesimpulan this is non-elementary rate law and kamu kena follow information dalam soalan. So rate law dia minus RA, KCA, CB. Okay, done. Next, assume the system is adiabatic. Okay, so dia kata apa? Adiabatic means Q kamu 0. You don't have to calculate Q. So, although information given to calculate Q, tapi kalau dia kata adiabatic, kamu dah tak payah guna information tu. Q dah automatically 0. Okay, so sometimes in the question, saya letak je information untuk kira Q. Okay, I will put information, but then I will tell you is adiabatic. So, sebab saya nak uji kefahaman, your understanding. If it's adiabatic, do we still need to use information or not? Okay, so the answer is, if it's adiabatic, even if the information is given, you don't need to calculate Q because Q is 0 for adiabatic. Okay. Dan dia kata work done by stirrer negligible. So WS pun kosong. Work shaft in our equation is also 0. Calculate the conversion of A and subsequently the volume of the reactor. So dia suruh kita kira conversion X and then dia suruh kita kira volume reactor which is CSTR lah. Volume reactor kita CSTR. Okay, so again sama je konsep. Kalau soalan nombor 1, in the previous question, they give us conversion, they ask us to find temperature, the reaction temperature. But as I told you, it can be the other way around. They give you the temperature, the reaction temperature, they want us to find the conversion. Okay, so the questions can be either way, give T, find X, or give X, find T. Okay, so this question, they give us T, they want us to find X. So again, we start with information. So the first 3 information ni technically tak payah guna lah sebab ni information untuk cari yang Q. But since adiabatic, Q is 0, no longer needs this information. So kita dah letak ke tepi. Next, dia bagi kita feed flow rate. Okay, feed flow rate is 20 dm³ per hour. Okay, so this is the volumetric flow rate. Okay, so volumetric flow rate dah beri, sama case. Like I said, dia beri kita feed volumetric flow rate. Tapi sama je sebab this is liquid phase. So, even though dia bagi kita feed ke, dia bagi kita outlet ke, sebenarnya sama, is still 20 dm³ per hour. And next, dia beri kita value of K, but the K is in the form of Arrhenius equation. Kalau kamu perasan, so dia beri kita K. Tapi K dalam bentuk Arrhenius equation of which K equals to 10 dm³ per mole second, exponential minus 2000 calorie per mole per RT. Okay, so dia beri kita K tapi K dalam bentuk Arrhenius equation. So next, kita tengok table pula. Dalam table dia beri kita additional data. First, feed molar flow rate. So mole per hour molar flow rate lah kan. So this is initial, right? So they give us for A and B. So FA0 15, FB0 30. Okay, so kenapa ada molar flow rate B initially? Sebab B adalah reactant juga dalam case ni. Okay, sebab kita nak balas dia A and B to produce C. So we know FA0 15, we know FB0 30. They give us enthalpy of formation. Okay, so kalau dia beri kita enthalpy of formation, species A, species B, species C, kamu just ingat, this is to find heat of reaction. Soalan satu yang tadi, they give us straight away the value of the heat of reaction. We don't need to calculate. In this case, in this question, they make it a bit complicated. Dia suruh kita kira. So, we have to calculate the heat of reaction menggunakan enthalpy of formation or heat of formation yang diberi untuk setiap spesies. Okay. And then they give us CP jugalah. CPA, CPB, CPC. So, kamu jangan confuse. A, B and C ni refers to the chemical compound lah. Just in my question, I don't use real chemical compound. I use A, B and C. Tapi dia merujuk kepada CP compound A, CP compound B, CP compound C. Okay, so again, we will start with the original energy balance equation. Just that, this part kita nak cari X when we are given T. Okay, so again, maksudnya setiap unknown dalam persamaan ni kamu kena cari nilai dia dulu kecuali X. So kalau katakan kamu ada lagi unknown yang tak tahu nilai, kamu kena cari sampai ada. Kalau tak, you can never solve, you can never get your X. Okay, so we do one by one. So first, Q0 adiabatic, WS 0 because it's negligible as given in the question. So FA0, senanglah, kita dah beri, is given in the question already. FA0 is 15. Okay, so FA0 settle. Next, summation theta I CPI. Okay, so kamu jangan confuse. Kalau kamu tengok summation simbol, summation means total. So kalau total mesti tambah kan? Macam kalau kita cari jumlah kan, jumlah mesti kita kena tambah. So same concept here. Summation theta I CPI will be the addition of reactant. Theta I CPI refers to reactant and if you have inert. So in this case only reactant A, reactant B, no inert. So masih CPA plus theta B CPB. Okay, now the question is how to find theta B. In previous question, they give us mole fraction. Soalan ni dia tak beri kita mole fraction A and B, kita tak tahu. But what do we have? We have the initial molar flow rate of A and B. Kita tahu FA0 15, FB0 30. So even menggunakan initial molar flow rate pun kita boleh cari theta B. So theta B equals to FB0 over FA0. Okay, so you just do 30 divided by 15. You get your theta B as 2. Okay, so kamu ganti theta B 2. You replace CPA, you replace CPB. You get your summation theta I CPI as 139. Okay, right, done. So next one, T and T0. So T is 600 Kelvin. T0 300 Kelvin lah. Okay, as given in the question. Back, FA0 masih sama. X, we want to find. So the X tu adalah unknown yang kita nak cari. So X tu dibiarkan. Bahagian belakang, heat of reaction at reference temperature. Okay, so heat of reaction at reference temperature. Soalan pertama dah diberi directly. In the second question, it's not given directly. But we can calculate using the heat of formation of each species. So heat of reaction pun kalau kamu perasan ada delta. Dari segitiga tu delta. Okay, delta tu means again changes. So akan ada positif, akan ada negatif. Tapi dalam case ni it refers to positive of the heat of formation of reactor product and negative refers to the heat of formation of your reactant. And ada stoichiometric coefficient. So tu jadi C per A heat formation of C minus B per A heat formation of B minus heat formation of A. So part B tu be very careful. Dalam kes soalan 1, soalan 2, B adalah reactant sebab tu negatif. Tapi kalau ada soalan dekat mana B adalah produk, kamu kena faham maknanya dia dah bukan negatif B per A, dia jadi positif B per A heat formation of B. Okay, so part tu yang kadang-kadang students will do the mistake, dia sebab soalan macam ni, tapi bila tukar soalan sikit kamu dah takut terlupa ke, you forget that dia mesti positif kalau B adalah produk. In this case, B is a reactant, that's why you got negative. Okay, don't forget on the stoichiometric coefficient. Dalam case ni reaction dia adalah 1A reacting with 2B to produce 1C. So B per A kamu akan ada 2 per 1. Okay, so you get your heat of reaction negative 144,000. So as I told you, heat of reaction, you may obtain negative, you may obtain positive as long as you calculate correctly, dia boleh jadi positif, boleh jadi negatif. Okay, so kalau kamu dapat negatif pun jangan rasa pelik lah. It may be, logically dia boleh berlaku, tapi make sure kamu calculate betul-betul. Okay, so done. So data CP, samalah kan? Data CP, instead of using, kita kira sama tapi kita menggunakan CP compound A, CP compound B, CP compound C. So you get your delta CP as negative 91.5. So same concept. Semua benda dalam persamaan tu kamu kena ganti. Okay, you replace everything with your sub equation as shown here. You will get your X as 24% or 0.24. Means your conversion is very low. It's only 0.24. So soalan ni pun I don't think it's that difficult. Tapi dia ada parts pengiraan. So kalau kamu kena be very careful, if satu part salah pun jawapan akhir kamu confirm mesti salah. So this question is a bit dangerous in terms that if let's say one sub equation kamu kira salah, confirm jawapan akhir X kamu tu confirm akan salah. Dan part yang bawah definitely reactor design pun akan salah. So don't do this kind of mistakes. Okay, done. Okay, so next we go. Dia nak kita cari volume of the CSTR. Okay, macam mana cek volume CSTR? Okay, so volume CSTR dia, kamu kena ingat lah kan macam mana nak kira design equation dia. Okay, katakanlah kamu tak ingat. Okay, so kamu start dengan design equation CSTR to find volume equals to FA0 X per minus RA. This is for single reactor. Okay. Minus RA dalam soalan dah diberi minus RA dia sama dengan KCA CB. Okay, so sekarang untuk case CSTR kamu ada option sebab ni bukan this is not an integral equation. Kamu boleh sebenarnya kira CA dulu, kira CB dulu, ganti dalam equation pun boleh, ataupun dalam case saya kembangkan dulu, saya masukkan dalam baru saya ganti dengan nilai pun boleh. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Okay, CA ni, okay, CA kalau I remember I taught you, kalau liquid phase concentration CA is expressed as CA0 1 minus X. Ni dalam chapter 3 kalau kamu ingat saya dah express kalau liquid phase CSTR ataupun flow reactor CA equals to CA0 1 minus X. Kalau CB kamu kena berhati, dalam kes ni CB adalah reactant. So CB equals to CA0 in bracket theta B minus B per AX. Okay, so theta B was 2. We found out earlier theta B is 2. B per A pun 2. Dalam persamaan kimia tu, in the chemical equation, the stoichiometric coefficient for B is 2. Okay, so 2/1, 2 lah kan? Okay, so I replace CA with CA0 1 minus X and I replace CB with CA0 2 minus 2X. So option dia ada kamu kira CA dulu ganti ke dalam, kamu kira CB ganti ke dalam, atau macam kes saya masukkan dulu baru saya ganti dengan nilai. Okay, dalam kes ni tak apa, either way pun you can because this is not an integral equation. Okay, so now that you have everything already, then kita ganti dengan nilai. So you do one by one. So first of all, FA0. So FA0, kamu dah tahu lah kan dalam soalan FA0 dah beri dalam table. FA0 is 15 mole per hour. Okay, so saya buat one by one. FA0 15 daripada soalan. Okay, then next X. So X, kita dah tahu X daripada part yang the previous part we already calculated X. So X is 0.24. So done, ganti X. Next one K. Okay, so cari K. Okay, dalam case ni K is not given to us directly, tapi dia beri kita K dalam bentuk Arrhenius equation. Now that we know the reaction temperature is 600 Kelvin, okay, and then R kamu gantilah dengan 1.987 because EA kita calorie per mole. So R we choose 1.987. Kalau kamu confused mana muncul equation ni, dalam soalan dah diberi. Dalam soalan diberi nilai K, tapi nilai K ni dalam bentuk Arrhenius. So kita ganti sajalah nilai R 1.987 T with 600 Kelvin. So you get your value of your K. So done. So next one CA0. So dalam case ni CA0 is not given but we know FA0 and we know V0, the inlet volumetric flow rate. So kita boleh kira juga CA0 lah using the same way. You get a CA0 as 0.75. Okay, so the rest ganti sajalah. Dah tahu X, dah tahu the rest, you can already replace the numbers. You will get the volume as 2.9654. So kalau kamu perasan, chapter 6 is not that difficult in comparison chapter 4. In comparison to 1, 2, 3, 4 is quite hard. Chapter 6 is quite straightforward, tapi dia tak boleh buat salah. Kalau buat salah satu part, memang yang bawah-bawah semua part akan salah juga. Okay, so done for question number 2. We have about 15 minutes. Okay, so I will cover the last question. We have 4 questions, tapi as usual, I will always give you 1 question as a homework, right? So I will leave question number 4 as a homework for you. When you have time, you do it. Jawapan dah ada dalam soalan yang saya alur VLE. I will finish question number 3. Okay. So question number 3. Okay. Normal butane, okay, is isomerized to isobutene. The reaction is carried out non-adiabatically in the liquid phase. Okay, so tindak balas dia isomerization. Daripada normal butane dia jadi isobutene. Meaning, walaupun menggunakan real chemical compound pun kamu jangan confuse. Yang lebih baik terus kamu labelkan dia A dan B. So tindak balas ni A hasilkan B. Satu A menghasilkan satu B. And then dia kata non-adiabatic. Kalau non-adiabatic means Q tu ada nilai lah. Kita kena kira nilai Q nanti dalam persamaan dia. Okay, you are thus determining the suitability of a steam jacketed CSTR with the inlet mixture consisting of 90 mole % normal butane and 10 mole % isopentene and inert in the Miss One. Jacket steam saturation temperature TA untuk kira Q juga. Initial flow rate, okay, so dia beri kita initial flow rate tu adalah 25 mole per hour. Dr. Stop. Tak dengar sebab hujan kot. Hello. Hello, dengar tak? Hello, dengar tak?
Dah dengar dah. Tadi
Ya.
Dr.
Oh, okay, sorry. Tempat saya baru nak start hujan. Thank you for informing me. Alright. Alright, okay, so saya start balik Alright, so initial flow rate, okay, initial flow rate of your A, FA not 25 mole per hour. So FA not 25 mole per hour. Feed temperature 300 Kelvin. So your T not 300 Kelvin. Your equilibrium constant. Okay, so sekarang saya lupa nak mention. This is, kejap this is reversible reaction. Sekejap saya lupa anak panah tu dah salah. Hold on. Okay, so the arrow is wrong. This is actually a reversible reaction. Okay, right. So I should write down better the reversible reaction. Okay, so sorry. Addition to the question, saya lupa. Saya dah ubah soalan ini daripada irreversible menjadi reversible. So maklumat reversible, tapi saya lupa nak tukar chemical equation tu menjadi reversible. So this is a reversible reaction. Sebab tu ada equilibrium constant. Sebab tu bila saya tengok equilibrium constant, saya jadi pelik sebab equilibrium constant mesti reversible. Okay, so they give us equilibrium constant. If you forget, equilibrium constant tu adalah Kc. Okay, so Kc ni hanya bila kita ada reversible reaction. Kenapa? As I told you, tindak balas berbalik ni maksudnya dalam kes ni normal butane A lah kan, A dia boleh jadi B, at the same time B pun boleh menjadi A semula. So the reaction will occur forward, backward until eventually dia akan sampai what we call as equilibrium. So pada keadaan equilibrium tu kita akan ada equilibrium constant Kc. Okay, sebab tu you only see Kc kalau reversible. Kalau tidak balas yang irreversible, kamu tak akan dapat jumpa Kc. Okay, so dan diberi kita activation energy EA. Okay, so whenever diberi kamu EA, kamu tahu this one is confirm kita nak kira Arrhenius equation. We will use Arrhenius equation or else we won't have this value. Kejap something is not right here. Alright, betul. Okay, next. They give us enthalpy of formation, they give us heat capacity. So kamu kena berhati-hati dalam kes ni. Kenapa ada 3 compound? Sebab walaupun tindak balas compound A, reactant A, product B, but we have inert. Sebab tu inert punya information pun diberi. Tapi kamu kena tahu bila kita guna information inert dalam penyiraan kita. Okay. So again, soalan dia kata, calculate reactor outlet temperature if the desired conversion is 60%. So soalan ni pula terbalik. Dia nak kita cari T kalau diberi conversion 0.6. So as I said, equation tu sama je. Tapi bentuk soalan either beri X cari T atau beri T cari X. So dalam this question particularly disuruh kita cari T bila dia beri kita X. Okay, so again we start from very beginning. So first Q. So ni adalah non-adiabatik. Kamu kena kira Q. So persamaan untuk kira Q tu sama je lah. Q sama dengan UA in bracket TA minus T. UA and TA we know. You replace with numbers. The T you leave because we want to find T. Okay, so done. WS 0. FA not given 25. Dalam soalan diberi FA not is 25. Okay, so next is summation theta I CPI. So part ni yang kamu kena be very careful sebab sekarang pengiraan ni dah berbeza daripada contoh tadi. Dalam soalan 1 and 2, A and B is a reactant and we got no inert. Sebab tu theta I CPI sama dengan CPA plus theta B CPB. In this question number 3, hanya satu reactant A. Tetapi kita ada inert. So kamu jangan lupa kalau asal tu ada inert, kamu kena letak juga inert punya calculation dalam calculation theta I CPI. That's why it become CPA plus now theta I CPI. The I besar tu is refers to the inert. Sebab dalam kes ni kamu ada inert. So CPA, kamu tengok periodic table, CPA kamu dah tahu, tengok table ambil nilai. Theta I, so theta I nak kira dia sama konsep macam theta B. Konsep dia maksudnya initial amount of B, initial amount of inert over initial amount of A. Since dia kata tadi initially 90% A, 10% inert, means YI0 0.1, you divide with YA0 0.9. So ni part yang kamu kena betul-betul faham. Kita dah tak masuk, kita tak ambil kira penyeraan B sebab B dah bukan reactant. Tetapi kita ambil kira penyeraan inert sebab ada inert dalam example ini. Okay, so we get your theta I CPI as 0.4311 dan then in bracket T we want to find T0 is 300 Kelvin. Next FA0. So FA0 is FA0 is delivery 25, X is 0.6 dan heat of reaction. Okay, so heat of reaction kita kena kira lah kan. So dalam kes ni kamu dah kena berubah sebab dia hanya satu produk, satu reactant of which B is a product, A is a reactant. So dalam kes ni kamu tengok B tu dia hadapannya adalah positif dah. Kenapa positif? Sebab B adalah produk. So B per A, heat formation of B minus heat formation of A. Realize kita tak kira inert. Kenapa kita tak kira inert? Logically, ini adalah heat of reaction. Mestilah tak ada penyiraan inert sebab inert tak terlibat dalam tindak balas. But let's say kamu confused juga. Kamu nak letak juga inert, kamu ingat saja depan tu mesti ada stoichiometric coefficient punya ratio. So you know inert takkan ada stoichiometric coefficient sebab inert tak ada pun dalam persamaan kimia. So even if you want to put also you know that inert tak ada stoichiometric coefficient. So it's not possible to include inert in the calculation. Okay, so you get your heat of reaction negative 170. Delta CP pun kira juga sama konsep. data CP is only for product and reactant and you don't involve inerts. Same concept, kalau kamu terconfuse, kamu tahu inert takkan ada stoichiometric coefficient. So definitely you cannot include in the calculation. And before I forget, saya terlupa part belakang ni ada TR. Okay, T minus TR. TR tu reference temperature, which I forget to explain soalan 1, soalan 2. Reference temperature ni is given in the question. It refers to which the data, the heat of formation or the CP is obtained at what temperature, suhu rujukan, reference temperature. So most of the time memang kalau property table dalam buku adalah 25 Celsius, which is 273 Kelvin. Okay, so kalau kamu nak tengok TR, kamu tengok je dalam soalan, dia terus diberi nilai TR. Even soalan 2 tadi pun sama, you can find your TR is also given. Okay, so don't worry about TR, just tengok dalam soalan, nilai ni diberi pada suhu rujukan mana, that will be your TR value. Okay, so similar concept, as you have obtained everything, ganti dalam persamaan, you will get the temperature of the reaction, which is 320.8715. Okay, right, so done. And the last part for the questions, determine the pre-exponential factor for the conversion and temperature obtained in part A above. If given the reactor volume as 25 dm³ with initial concentration 2 mol per dm³, the reaction obeys reversible elementary rate law. Okay, so soalan ni banyak benda dia nak kan, banyak information dia beri. Dia nak kita cari free exponential factor. Free exponential factor tu hanya ada dalam Arrhenius equation kalau kamu ingat. Dia nak kita cari A dalam Arrhenius equation kita. Okay. So then dia kata dia beri kita information pula. Dia beri kita volume CSTR kita 25 and dia beri kita CA0 2 and dia beri kita rate law dia reversible elementary rate law. Okay. So first of all, kamu kena tengok mana kita nak start, right? Okay. So kita ingat kalau pre-exponential factor mestilah daripada Arrhenius equation. So Arrhenius equation yang asal adalah K equals to A exponential minus EA per RT. Okay, maksudnya in order to find A, saya kena tahu K, saya kena tahu EA, saya kena tahu R, saya kena tahu T. Baru saya boleh dapat A. Okay, so maksudnya kita kena tahu K, EA, R dan T. Okay, so belah kanan, A kita nak cari. EA soalan dah diberi. EA is given in the question as 2000 calorie per mole. EA dah settle. R, of course kita tahulah kan, R is 1.987. Temperature kita dah tahu sebab part A kita dah cari temperature. Dan, okay, so maksudnya belah kiri tu, belah kanan tu saya dah tahu semua nilai kecuali A, which I want to find. On the left hand side, K. So kalau kamu perasan, kita tak diberi nilai K. Okay, kita diberi K, this K is reaction rate constant. Yang kita tahu hanya KC, equilibrium constant, is selagi saya tak tahu K, saya tak boleh cari A. So sekarang kamu dah tahu, maksudnya sekarang I cannot get A as long as I don't know K. So how do I obtain K? Okay, so to obtain K, kamu tengok balik, apa maklumat dia beri? Dia kata dia beri kita reactor volume. Volume CSTR kita 250 dm³. Okay, so kalau 25 dm³. So kalau kamu ingat, daripada design equation kita, katakanlah kamu pun tak sure macam mana nak cari, tak apa. Kamu ingat balik design equation reactor CSTR. So CSTR volume reactor dia FA0X per minus RA. Okay. Until this stage pun K tak muncul lagi. Kita nak cari K, right? Tapi K tak muncul lagi. Okay. Then next kita tahu rate law minus RA ni kita kena ganti dengan rate law. Okay. So rate law ni kamu kena ingatlah dalam saya dah ajar kamu untuk chapter 4 reversible elementary rate law. So kamu kena ingat kalau reversible reaction, rate law dia dah berlainan. Okay, kamu kena ingat, cuba check balik notes. Rate law dia given as minus RA equals to K, K yang kita nak cari, in bracket concentration of your reactant, power stoichiometric. Okay, so means in this reaction 1A, 1B. So Ca sahaja or power of 1 minus concentration of product, power stoichiometric coefficient. Okay, sebab tu kamu ingat kalau dia hanya irreversible, dia stop kat KCA saja. Tapi sebab ni reversible, kita kena tengok juga yang part B, yang produk menghasilkan reactant. Sebab tu part kedua tu ada minus concentration of product, which is B, power stoichiometric coefficient divided by Kc. So Kc ni adalah equilibrium constant. So kamu kena bezakan K reaction rate constant, Kc equilibrium constant. Okay, so now you replace minus Ra with this elementary reversible rate law. Kenapa? Sebab kita nak cari K. So maksudnya kalau kita nak cari K, maksudnya volume kita kena tahu, FA0 kena tahu, X kena tahu, CA, CB, KC kita kena tahu. Okay, so same concept. Kamu boleh cari dulu CA straight away dan CB straight away, atau kamu express dulu, masuk dalam equation baru ganti dengan nilai. So cara saya express dulu masuk dalam equation. Sebab Ca saya liquid phase, Ca sama dengan Ca0 1 minus X. CB kamu kena berhati-hati. Dalam kes ni CB adalah produk. When CB is a product, the concentration is expressed as B per A Ca0X. Dia dah berbeza kalau CB tu reactant, dia sama dengan Ca0 in bracket theta B minus B per AX. Tetapi bila dia adalah produk, dia menjadi B per A Ca0X. So B per A tu 1, hence Ca tu Ca0X. B per A 1 sebab dalam equation B per A tu adalah 1. So I replace first in the equation, then saya ganti dengan nilai. So saya ganti volume 25, saya ganti FA0, saya ganti X, saya ganti Ca0, saya ganti Kc, baru saya dapat nilai K saya. Ya tak, tadi kita nak ganti Arrhenius, kita tak ada nilai K kan. So kita guna design equation ni, cari K, dah dapat K tu baru ganti balik dalam Arrhenius untuk mendapatkan A. So this question is not so straightforward. Maksudnya in order to get A, you have to find first K. So K tu pula kamu kena dapat based on the design equation, di mana kita tahu volume, kita cari K dahulu. And then part ni susah sikit sebab rate law dia dah berbeza. This is elementary rate law. Okay, so be very careful a little bit on that part. But if you solve it correctly, you get your value A as 34.5486. Okay, so as I told you, question number 4 is a homework for you. Please do it by yourself. Reversible, kalau nombor 4 pun reversible. Attempt it for you to practice and to increase your understanding. Okay, so I'm done for tutorial. Saya tutup ni, saya buka satu lagi channel untuk lecture. We continue with lecture. So I close this channel. I will open another channel for your lecture. Okay, alright. Thank you everyone.